There you go with that mess.
I'm on the beating it with Key Murphy.
I'm a Cremel, the creator. What's
What's
good, boy?
happening? What's happening? What's happening, man?
Same old. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. 2024. About to get a fresh start, about to kick these things off. Got some good football to talk about.
Yep.
But look, before we get started though, Keith, check this out. You see this right here, man? You see this right here sitting beside me?
Yeah.
You know what that is, Keith?
Nope.
Hey man, look. That is
Oh,
fantasy football trophy.
Congratulations.
Look. But look, check this out. You see at the bottom, it says 2022.
I see.
Well, I look, this one, it ain't going nowhere this year because I won again. First back-to-back champion league history. My first time winning back-to-back championship.
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it. I'm officially a dynasty. You know what I mean? So, hey.
You ain't a dynasty yet. Ain't dynasty 3 in a row or 3 out of 4?
Nah, man. Look, you could be a dynasty with 2.
I guess.
Look, right now, look, until somebody else gets at least 2 back-to-back, man, I'm the dynasty of the 2020s when it comes to this fantasy football league. But what's good, man? Keep talk to me. Talk to me.
Not much. Same old, man. Took my son to training, saw a couple bros there, friends.
Okay. Root to the bros. Hey, man, how's your son doing, man? How's he doing with is he balling still, man? I've been seeing him doing his thing.
Yeah, man, he's been hurt a little bit. We took a break over Christmas, so today was the first day we went back to training and all that. But
okay.
He's a teenager now, man. More attitude. I'm like, come on, dude. So,
man, let the rebellious years begin.
You tell him. It's like a flip of a switch overnight. Like he's a different kid. It's all good though. It's part of the journey.
It is, man. It is. But yo, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you about football. So we saw just football all around, man. We saw some of the best games. This was a great football weekend. I'm talking Saturday through Monday. But we also saw probably some of the worst situational coaching that I've seen.
I told somebody that Dallas Detroit game, it was like, who wants to be the worst coach?
Man, I'm telling you. I know all the focus was on. Everybody was talking about the call and the referee.
Before we get to that, let's go back to. Let's start off with the college football playoff.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, what you think so far? Do you watch college football avid, or you just watch these big games?
I watch pretty regularly. There's some teams I don't get to watch as much. So am I frozen on your end? I think my screen's frozen over.
Yeah. You want to go out and come back in?
Yeah. Am I?
You see? No, you stay there. Hold on. All right. What about now?
Yeah, still frozen.
I'm not.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it on the Facebook. It's just showing me frozen. It's not showing you frozen. Okay, look, something's happening.
Hold on.
Yeah, let me try to get out and go back in. I see what the problem is.
You gotta show your camera?
Nah, it's there's something going on with the browser. Yeah, I see what's happening. Browser's flipping out.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, college football playoff. What you think so far?
So you can still hear me, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking we saw some good games, man. I haven't gotten to watch Washington that much. I've been kind of keeping up with them more or less from from a distance as far as like highlights and whatnot.
Right.
So see my guy, man, the quarterback, he was out there putting in work, man. He was looking like like he was trying to audition to get in that move up his draft stock a little bit.
Who you talking about? Which one?
I'm talking about for Washington.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about him. I like him too, lefty.
Yeah, no, yeah. He has that lefty game, man. It's really working for him, man. I mean, sometimes that's hard to defend at times too, man. When you got like a really good left-handed quarterback who's also athletic,
Right.
Historically that's been a little more difficult to defend. I'm trying to get this right. Yeah, this is crazy.
You'll be all right. We can keep talking through it. Who you got winning it?
I got Michigan winning it, man. I'm gonna tell you. I was watching that game. So I don't know why Texas waited until like the end of the game or like one of the last drives to really apply pressure, to the quarterback. Like you saw once he was under pressure, it was Penix. He wasn't as accurate and as comfortable as he had been most of the game. Right. So when I look at what the Michigan defense and that pass rush was able to do to Alabama, I see him having a lot. He's gonna have his hands full dealing with those boys, man. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I want Harbaugh to cash one in. This will be good for him to cash one in. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And so I do like Washington. I heard a lot of good stuff about their coach. I doubt he'll be there that long before he gets a big time job. I mean, I'm funny. Washington always was a big time coaching job, but with the way they're breaking up the Pac-12 and doing all this restructuring of the college football game, I don't know what's going to happen to their program. But what he's done there and rebuilt their program is pretty amazing. But we'll see what happens with them. Hey, you guys in the stream. Hey, thanks for coming in. We'll get Cremel back in a minute. Just what you think about college football. Write down topics, things you want to talk about. We go on here at 9:30 every Wednesday evening. Just recap mostly NFL stuff, but we're going college football this week with the playoffs. But we're gonna get into Pro Bowl. We're gonna get into some recapping from last week. We're gonna get into all that stuff. Let's see. Yo, what up?
It wouldn't be right without no technical difficulties to start us off, right?
This time it's on your end.
I know, man.
I don't know. I feel like Washington, that they're gonna be hard to stop. But
so before I want to get into like some of those situational things that I saw, man. Like I touched on how you saw how like Texas didn't decide to apply pressure to late in the game. You know what I mean? If they'd done that sooner, they probably would have won that game. You know what I mean? I think Texas was the better team overall. They just, they weren't applying pressure, and Washington just looked explosive. You know what I mean? It just looked like, they were always a play away. But man, watching that that Alabama and Michigan game, man, that last play that Alabama ran might have been one of the worst plays I ever seen in the history of football.
I think it looked, I don't know. I've seen some people kind of run through it. I guess when the offensive lineman didn't do his job, it was supposed to have an option to it. And I think somebody messed up, so he just had to run.
Well, his snap was messed up too. The center started to like short circuit or something like in the fourth quarter, man. He was like
what he was doing.
All those low snaps, man. You know what I mean? We got Go Blue. What's up? What up, Q? We got Sean Young in the building. Yeah. Hey, man, I saw him pumping Michigan up, on social media and all of that, man. But I'm all for it, man. I'm all for Harbaugh getting them another one. But yeah, man, I don't know what was going on with Bama. Them low snaps, bro.
Well, he snapped it high a couple times. I mean, he was
all over the place. He slapped it high and low. But anybody who played quarterback would tell you, man, they rather see it snap high than see it snap low, because you snap high, you still at eye level, you know what I'm saying, with the offense. But if when you snap it low, then they got to look down and then look back up and then
Right.
try to reset. So it's
Right.
like it's easier to catch it in the air and still be eye level with the offense and still run the play as opposed to having to pick it up off the ground.
Right.
But yeah, man, I see what he said. The center been point shaving all game.
You know another good thing about Sean Young?
What's that?
Bang Bang Niner game.
Oh, we got another one of those. That's okay. Look, we gonna get into this too. Hey, look, man. I don't know if it's something superstitious going on. He said he's been doing that since before Auburn. That's how they got 4th and 30 and had to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't know what was going on with the center, man. Like, bro is bro might want to move over to right tackle or something, man. I don't know.
Before we move on, what do you think Harbaugh's going to do? Win, lose, or draw?
I think he's gonna leave, man. I think he's out of there, And I know y'all got a little bit of y'all got some love for Harbaugh too for that connection.
Absolutely. I just wish he'd have got it done. So hopefully he can get it done. I think he's gone either way. First off, they might come down on sanctions for the stuff he did over the year. Once they do an investigation, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well,
he hired an agent. You know what I mean? So
John says he thinks he's going to the Chargers. I think smart money's on the Chargers. I could see the Bears if they coaching open up, or the Raiders. But I think as a coach, you should want to go to the Chargers because you don't have to worry about a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. But there were, a lot of connections have been drawn to the Raiders. You know what I mean? The whole Tom Brady thing and the, Michigan alumni, Tom Brady having that affiliation with the Raiders, trying to buy stock in the team and all of this stuff. So that people have been trying to connect the dots with that. I think it's more theory than anything. But no, I think the Chargers might be. I would love to see him with the Bears because I think their problem is coaching. You know what I mean? You see how good Justin Fields can be.
If he takes it, are they going to keep Fields or draft Caleb?
They should definitely keep Fields.
So I don't know. I'm torn on that because now that I have a quarterback on a rookie deal, I kind of like it.
Oh, you like the discount. You know what I mean?
So
you got Pro Bowler on an $800,000 salary. I got you.
Right. And so when you see that, I'm like, if they can reset the clock and maybe not lose, it's business. I know they've been with Fields, but they got to decide on his 5th-year option after this year. So we'll see what's up with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Fields. I think part of me thinks he should want to get out of there too.
Well, he probably does, man. I mean, but I just think they put some pieces around him. They could build something there. You see, they've been playing a lot better over the last few weeks. They've really brought it together. The defense has been on fire. So you're seeing what they had the potential to be. The NFC North.
Nah, bro, you're not late. You right on time.
I'm right on time, man.
We're just getting started.
Right on time. But I think it's still a good look. I think they could draft a wide receiver. They got the number two or the number 1 pick locked in.
They do.
You know what I mean? They can get Marvin Harrison. Look, Marvin Harrison and DJ Moore. You know what I mean? I mean, look, hey, that might be the best young duo in the NFL right there.
I agree.
If it all comes together. So and Justin Fields showing that he can be explosive and he can throw the ball downfield and use his legs. Now that they're letting him get loose and let him be himself. Hey man, they have a lot of potential. I just think, man, you go draft Caleb Williams, now you start from scratch again. And you possibly as a football fan, I don't want to see Caleb Williams go into that purgatory of Chicago, who
I don't think he wants to go there either.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. It's quarterback purgatory.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest, man. You can't even think of a great quarterback, out of Chicago. So, I just don't want to see. I think they got something special with
the best they've had in my lifetime is probably Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay Cutler, Mr. Get tired and go sit on the sideline and ride the bike.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's get on to the debacle that was the Dallas Detroit game.
Let's get on it, man.
Yeah. Hey, TJ said they should look at Marvin Harrison Jr. pair him with Fields. I agree.
I agree 100%. But look, no, let's talk about this Detroit Dallas game. Hey, look, before we get into all of this, all of the penalties and the throwing to the lineman not reporting and all of that stuff. Let's talk about this terrible situational coaching on both sides of the ball. So we're down the stretch. We got under 3 minutes left, man. You got an opportunity, granted, that was robbed somewhat from a phantom tripping call. We'll get into that. But
yes. Go ahead.
But
whose game management do you want to talk about first?
Let's go with Mike McCarthy first. We'll get into all-time, all Madden, Dan Campbell in a second. But man,
before you start, see, we got 17 people, man. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hey, thanks for coming in. We do this every Wednesday at 9:30. All right, go ahead.
But no, so let's talk about Mike McCarthy, man, and this situational clock management. This has been a thorn in his heel for a while. This has been the knock on him, situational football. They come down. We're at the top of the 2-minute warning. They got time to run the clock down, man. We throwing a couple of pass plays, man. What do you think about that, Keith?
I thought it was idiotic. So the thing is, as a 49er fan, we deal with Shanahan being too conservative a lot. Obviously, he was passing the ball during that Super Bowl in Atlanta, but I don't ever blame coordinators. I blame head coaches all the time. And so I just thought when he passed that ball on third down and let them escape without having to use a timeout, I was just like, come on. Like, what are you doing? And so that's the type of stuff that'll get you beat. And luckily, I think Jared Goff threw a pick. No, he didn't throw a pick on the last one. He threw the pick on the one before that. So you could, I get his mindset. He wanted to close out the game, but at that point, you just got to preserve time. If they're gonna score, make them go down in what? They gave him like 30-something seconds, right? Or a minute.
Yeah, they could have ran it down to probably as low as 45 seconds if they would have ran the ball. You could have ran consecutive running plays. You got the best kicker in the NFL right now, literally. You know what I mean? The guy has not missed. Run the ball, man. Run the clock down. You know what I mean? But we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, man. So it should have never even came down to the Lions should have never got a chance to drive down the field to even score that touchdown. Even though I'm glad Amon-Ra St. Brown scored that touchdown because he was on my fantasy team and he got me some needed points to get this championship wrapped.
The best when your team is playing against somebody you have on fantasy, like, I need this dude to ball out, but I don't need them to win.
When I tell you it couldn't have worked out more perfectly for me, Keith, oh my God. When I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown dive into the end zone, if I didn't have anything at stake as a Cowboy fan, I would have been like, oh, man, I was cheering. I was like, yeah, boy, got this shit, got the bag, baby.
Right.
But he's situationally, man, that's not playoff football, man. And then, Mike McCarthy, I don't know, he need to get somebody to supervise his clock management and all of that or something, man. I don't know how you even prevent that.
Who was that was so bad last year they had to hire somebody just to help him with the clock? Was that Hackett in Denver?
Might have been.
I think it was. I just thought it was egregious, and it made me think about the last couple of playoff games that y'all have had against 49ers. And so it's like we have worries about Shanahan ain't perfect at managing the clock, but he hasn't done some of the buffoonery that Mike McCarthy has done.
And that clock management, there have been some great coaches that have had clock management issues. That was a knock on Andy Reid for years, especially when he was
a knock until you start winning.
Right. Exactly. So, McCarthy got a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So But that was a while ago, and that was with Aaron Rodgers. But so I mean, let's jump to the other side of this, man. Yeah, everybody's mad about the whole not reporting to the ref and everything. But before we get to that, what do you think about Dan Campbell? Literally playing Madden in a Madden tournament, calling all of these fourth down plays and trying to go for 2-point conversions every time he's up there.
I don't mind some of it. If I was a Lions fan, I would mind. I mean, I understand going for the 2-point conversion the first time, but once you don't get it and it's a penalty and they put you back on the 7 and you're like, we still give your team a chance to win. You know what I mean? Give your team a chance to win. Like, why in the hell are you going to it's hubris. And like you said, it's playing Madden. You're playing video games. And it's not like it's just a preseason game. Now, because of the head-to-head, the number 2 seed was on the line.
Yep.
So through all that, you just dealt in emotion. You didn't put your best foot forward. What's up, Bracy?
What up, team?
You didn't put your best forward as far as trying to get your team to win, man. It's just like you are just because the ref screwed you, now you screwed your team. It made no sense to me whatsoever. Kick the extra point, go into overtime, and keep it moving. And so he's still pissed and all that in the post game, and I'm like, that's as a coach, you tell your players, all right, that play happened. It's time to move on to the next play. Something like that will cost them in the playoffs. And so all you got to do is move on to the next play. And then if you want to discuss in the pressure, he never moved on from that. So it cost his team the game.
Yeah, he made an emotional decision. I mean, we know he got a reputation of being an emotional coach, to bite the kneecaps off and all of that good stuff. But no, the moment that happened, and they got screwed, whatever. The moment that happened, and then they got another chance. They still had. I mean, your touchdown got negated, but you still had another opportunity. You get pushed back. You got opportunity to go ahead and tie the game. You saw it didn't work out, and then you go for it again, and then he threw an interception on the next play. The only reason it didn't stand is because Michael Parsons
jumped off sides.
His hand was offside.
Okay.
Yeah, his hand was slightly offsides before his takeoff, and his pressure, pretty much generated the interception. And they throw an interception, and okay. That gets pushed back. Okay, all right, dude, go ahead and kick the field goal. It didn't work twice.
So look, he's talking about one of them other 4th downs, and with playoffs, points are a premium. So you just gonna sit there and neglect points just to be aggressive. And sometimes you just got to take the points and keep it pushing.
Yeah, you playing the best team in the NFL at home. You know what I mean? You're gonna take whatever points you can get. And your offense is explosive enough to take advantage of those, 3-point trips. Man, save it for the next game. I mean, to Sean's point in the comment, they lost by 1 point. You kick a field goal in one of those other situations, then y'all got the win anyway. We ain't worried about Decker reporting to the referee.
Thanks, bro. Brother Bracy.
Appreciate you. We ain't worried about who's reporting to the referee and who's not. That's not even an issue. That's not even, and then, like I said, it never should have gotten to that point anyway, at any point. I thought both coaches did a poor job of situational coaching, and
it was like one, I'm telling you, like I said, it was like one was trying to outdo the other. Like, no, I can do something worse. I can be worse than that. I'm like, and so you go down there, Mike McCarthy, you throw the ball, then you get down there, score, and you don't kick the extra point. That would have tied the game. I mean, it just made no sense whatsoever what he was on. He was just on some BS, and that's why they lost. He can blame the officials, be pissed on it. Officials make bad calls. You as a coach got to coach through that.
You shouldn't have put yourself in a position where the game was in the referee's hands.
There you go.
It didn't even have to be in the referee's hands. That situation didn't have to happen. You know what I mean? The referee, to break that particular situation down, it was the referee's fault, but the referee got confused because number 70 had been reporting the whole game,
No,
And
what happened was they tried to trick the Cowboys, ended up tricking the
they
referees.
tricked the refs. Exactly.
So that's on them. On to this next subject with Dallas. It just came to my head. So this has been the last 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
Where teams were able to drive the ball down the field in the last minute. What do you think about y'all not being able to get off the field in these um, big game situations down the stretch?
Well, I mean, it's definitely something to pay attention to. I mean, when you hark back to, like I told you after that Miami game, I wasn't too mad after that game because I saw what the problem was. You know what I mean? With the Bills game, that was like y'all didn't show up. I don't. What are we doing? Miami, I saw the mistakes that were made that led to the. I saw the domino effect of everything that happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's one of those things where you just got to minimize your mistakes, man, and don't make boneheaded plays. You know, I think I mean, we got to give Detroit some credit. They've been one of the better teams in the NFL all season, specifically on offense. So them driving the ball down the field, they probably got one of the best, if not the best, running attack in the NFL. But you know, our run defense, yeah, I see Sean Young said bigger issue is their run D, Swiss cheese. Yeah, it's all about that. I mean, Detroit really didn't exploit it as much as they could have. You know what I
Right.
mean? They were letting D Law and Micah get home. You know what I mean? All they had to do was the little jump over thing that the Bills kept doing. And you know, they could have did the same thing that the Bills did with James Cook, you
Right.
know, with them boys. But you know, they didn't exploit that, man, you know, because they like to put the ball in the air too. But no, I think it's just a matter of you know, just discipline, man. And you know, I hated that. Also, I don't understand. Sometimes I don't understand Dan Quinn. He started playing softer on that last drive. He had them playing soft coverage, and you know, they were just throwing the ball underneath and pushing it upfield. You know, it's the same. I don't understand that, you know, situationally, because you know we had the same issue in the Miami game where they decided they were playing zone most of the game and it was effective, and then they switched to that damn man-to-man coverage with Tyreek Hill on the field, and Tyreek Hill's eyes got big. It was like, oh, you know. So I
Right.
mean, I don't know. Some of that lies at the feet of Dan Quinn. A lot of it lies at the feet of us being undersized at linebacker and not being able to stop the run.
Y'all not just undersized at linebacker. I mean, y'all are little.
We got safeties playing linebacker.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Marquise Bell's a safety, you know, from FAMU, converted to a linebacker.
So, how dangerous is Dallas as a 2 seed? What are they looking like? First
Dangerous
off,
to who?
first off, well, who's y'all projected first round matchup?
Right now, it would be, I think, the Rams
Green Bay.
or Green Bay. Yeah, it depends. That's still not decided yet. The
Yeah,
last
because
wild
technically,
card spot is still up in the air.
well, what's the chances that Washington beats y'all this weekend?
If this was last year's team, I would give it about 40 to 50%.
So you like this year's team that much better,
We beat up on bad teams.
right?
So I'm not. And Sam Howell, man, Sam Howell had like 300 yards passing against us last time, and we beat him by 35 points.
Oh, I
So
saw that 45-10. Yeah,
yeah, so I mean, you know, Sam Howell get his off if he gets it off, because the last games he's played, he's been pretty terrible.
right.
You know, except against the Eagles. You know, when he plays against the Eagles, you know what I mean? He's looking like, you know, he's out there looking like Joe Burrow. But yeah, that was a straight for the Eagles. But yeah, so it's just, I mean, I think they'll go in and take care of business. I mean, are they on upset alert? Yeah. I mean, Washington's feisty. They played y'all tough for the entire first 3 quarters.
It wasn't that. If you watched, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it.
It wasn't really like the game was ever in doubt when you were watching.
I don't think you felt that way, but you saw it being a little closer than it should have been. You're like, man, San Francisco should be blowing these guys off the field. Why are they playing? It's y'all were playing with your food. That's what it looked like.
I think so, but I also think at this point in the year, he just watching the game based on some of the other games we've done, Shanahan kept it very vanilla. I didn't see anything like any bells and whistles or anything like that. And like you said at halftime, what can we do better? Oh, just score more touchdowns, and that's it. And so once you get up to like 25, I know our defense is not giving up 25 points to the Commanders.
Now,
And so
absolutely. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question to you, and then to some of the South, the San Francisco fans. Bang bang 49er game in the chat. Do you think that Shanahan has reevaluated his approach in a lot of these games now since that loss to the Ravens? Do you think it kind of brought some things to his attention that maybe he didn't think, he might not have necessarily seen, or it didn't really rear its ugly head?
well, what he did, I heard him speak on it some, and all he said was he thought the film was going to be worse than what he actually saw,
Mm.
and so he saw a lot of people getting open. Um, he saw everything. He said most things. He said they just had actually big time players, that made. Um, they did some things that not a lot of teams can do, but I don't think it's going to make him reevaluate what he should do going forward. I think he'll reevaluate the type of game plan he does specific to Baltimore. But I only think there's a couple teams, mainly Baltimore and Cleveland, that have those type of players on all three levels. Like most teams have an elite defensive line or elite backfield or elite linebackers or whatever, where the Ravens and Cleveland in particular have um, the Ravens and Cleveland in particular have elite players on all three levels, kind of like us. And then, because I mean, Lamar played well against us. I don't feel like he dominated. They're up only 16-12 at halftime after 3 picks. So I think in Shanahan's head, and this is me just spitballing, if we don't make the turnovers, I feel like he thinks we're in a good position. And so, for 14 points, it looked worse. If you watch the game, it looked like we got beat 42-10. The score was not indicative. And think about it, we're down in the end zone with a chance to score and kick an onside kick.
Right. No, and we talked about this on the show last week. Like it, that score wasn't that bad considering that there were 5 turnovers. You know what I mean? 5 interceptions thrown in that game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I still think there's some reevaluating.
Yeah, TJ, AFC North definitely punched us in the mouth.
Y'all struggled against the AFC North.
Trent didn't even make it out of both those games between Cleveland and Baltimore. That's the game he got hurt. So it's like, damn, not only are you're physical, you're knocking our players out. They knocked Debo and Trent out the game. Cleveland.
Washington locked CMC out, man. Look, what has been y'all's Achilles heel over the last few years? That's something to look out for. Trent Williams' health. Trent Williams, my God. Y'all gotta have Trent. Ain't no Super Bowl without Trent.
Absolutely not. I mean, 100%. If we ran the rock and kept Lamar off the field, totally, absolutely. We didn't run the ball. I think the first 13 dropbacks was 8 passes, 5 runs. So I just didn't like the game plan. And I thought he didn't do our second-year quarterback. Like sometimes he treats Brock like Brock is a 6-7 year starter. I think that was a game where he needed his coach to come in and kind of help him out, run the ball, settle him down, do the little Jimmy G game plan. You remember when Jimmy G used to make turnovers? And he'd be like, man, I'm just going to hand the ball off the next 10 times. I feel like that's the game. He should have pulled that out and then gone back to the pass more in the second half. Because that first pick, I mean, think about it. We still outgained Baltimore. Our offense, if you look at the offensive production, the numbers, we outgained them because the pick, the first one was right there in the end zone. So
yeah,
he was being greedy. He should have hit the check down. But he's always trying to get the big play, and so that just happened. I agree, Sean. If we ran the rock and kept him off the field, I think our division only has 4 wins against the AFC North. Who are those teams? That's a good point.
that's some good research too. I think we brought that up in our last conversation, Keith. We were like, yo, who has beaten the AFC North like that?
So we beat Pittsburgh the first week, smashed them 37. Then we lost to the Ravens, Browns, and Bengals. The Rams actually played the Ravens very close to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seattle beat Cleveland. So I agree. Trent is the real MVP, 1,000%.
I need Trent, man. What you say? Ain't no boombox crew without Trent, right?
Nope, not at
You don't
all.
want to see that boombox without Trent out there.
Not at all.
But yeah, no, I think either way, y'all in a good shape, man. I don't see y'all having any issues. But that's a great segue to the next topic, as far as like the who are the best teams not named the Ravens and the 49ers who have the best chance of making it to the Super Bowl.
NFC?
We can go either way. You can start with one or the other or both. Don't matter.
AFC. Joe Flacco and the Flying Cleveland Browns.
Hey, Joe Flacco has reemerged, man. He's looking like 2012, 2013 Flacco out there, man.
I agree.
Yeah, he's might be a comeback player of the year candidate.
I agree. So that's my pick. I think in the AFC, if I had to pick somebody other than Baltimore, I'm going Cleveland.
I like the Cleveland pick. I'm gonna say, man, if they trending the way they're trending right now, if they end up in the playoffs and they end up, still at it, I'm gonna say Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Man, they just almost lost to Easton Stick and the Chargers.
I don't know what that was though, man. It was like,
it's the typical Buffalo behavior, man.
Yeah,
they play up and down to their level of competition.
It's right. When I bring up the Bills, notice I started the comment off with if. It's always ifs with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they play up to their full potential, man, they're a difficult team to beat. Josh Allen, of course he's gonna turn the ball over. It's inevitable. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think they definitely should be taken seriously as a contender in the AFC.
I agree. NFC, I want to say Cowboys, but my head is telling me I hate both of these teams. I think it's the Rams. I like what McVay. I think this might be McVay's best coaching job. I mean, obviously winning the Super Bowl is one thing, but
he was loaded that year.
Yeah, most people pegged this team for last place, right? They rebuilt kind of on the fly, and Stafford's playing great quarterback. You got receiver, a surprise receiver in Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is coming on. I mean, and then they got running back Kyron Williams, quietly second in the league in rushing. Didn't even know that. About 300 yards behind CMC, and he missed 3 or 4 games with an injury. I know that, so he's playing at a high level. I just think I know y'all killed them, but I don't think they're the same team now that they were when y'all played them. And I like McVay in situations where he's going to have to scheme. I like him. I just like him as a game manager, and I think he's a better schemer than Mike McCarthy come playoffs.
Yeah. No, to your point, yeah, we did play them when they were a different team. I also think y'all played us when we were a different team. We weren't even running the same offensive schemes that we're running now when we played y'all. It was very vanilla and conservative. They try to be conservative, and then they realize Tony Pollard ain't that guy.
Listen to this. Just imagine if they still had Chubb.
Right. You talking about Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah. No, right. No doubt. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely dangerous, man, over at Cleveland, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, man. They're solid on both sides of the ball right now. Fun to watch. But yeah, to the point about the NFC. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys right now.
Okay.
Even though you know me, I'm an objective Cowboy fan. I'm not one of these delusional fans who are out here screaming Super Bowl every time we win a damn game.
Well, I think if this is a
Oh,
year that y'all gonna do something, this is the year.
absolutely, we haven't been in this type of position in a long time to where we, undefeated. Is that Last Second Sports? What up, Last Second Sports?
Yeah, man, he's a 49ers content creator. I support his channel a lot. Hey, thanks for coming on, Jesse.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're in a position we're undefeated at home, haven't lost in nearly 2 years. Um, and we're in a position to where we ain't got to see San Francisco if we do see San Francisco into the NFC Championship.
I know. Look, that's been your goal the whole year.
Absolutely. They're like, look, man, we've been talking about it, Keith. It's like,
Yeah.
man, look, as long as we ain't got to see y'all in the divisional round, we should be all right, man. I know
Hey,
I know
no
that's
excuses this year. I don't want to hear it.
absolutely not, man. That's my thing. It's like I tell you, man, as a Cowboy fan, I know what it feels like to be taken all the way up here and then dropped on your head. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's segue to something else.
What's up?
Could you imagine being a Philly fan December 1st and then a Philly fan now? What that might feel like?
Well, I live in the house with one, so I know exactly what it's like. Yo, I'm saying, man, so no, I know exactly what it's like. I sat right beside one, right there in AT&T Stadium.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, trust and believe, man. I mean, it's
She's
yeah.
on. She said it's painful.
Look,
Man,
look, look.
TJ said this has to be the year CD a monster. He another 49er fan. What up, TJ?
Yeah, no, what he said, number 1 seed to number 7 overnight. Yeah, nah, man,
Yes. I
yeah,
mean, they were talking about home field, and now they're just holding on for dear life, bro. It's life comes at you fast.
life comes at you fast, man. I mean,
Look, you got something else? I'm ready to get on to the next one.
no, we off of Philly already.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that. Is Philly cooked?
Yeah, I was about to say, man, I thought we was just getting started.
We got another question for you.
What's up? If the Cowboys lose in the NFC Championship to the 49ers, is that a successful season? I mean, I'm never going to say a season is successful when you come short of the Super Bowl, but by the Cowboys standard over the last 28 years, absolutely.
1000%.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you would still want to beat. I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie. If we don't win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. But I think they would. Let's get back to that. I think they would have to consider. It's a step in the right direction. Um, as a 49er fan, I want to win, but I believe in taking steps. But and sometimes you can skip them. It's football, like any given Sunday, right? But uh, if I hadn't been to the thing that pisses me off is we get close, but we haven't won since before y'all won.
Right.
So
That
we
is a
go through,
that goes only the 49ers fans really know that. You know what I mean? Nobody else notices because y'all have been in positions, to actually win. It seems like y'all have won one recently, but y'all have just been in a couple of Super Bowls recently.
and we live in the NFC Championship.
Right. Y'all are like the way the Eagles used to be like in 2000s
Yeah, Andy Reid.
with Andy Reid and McNabb. But
Yes, life comes at you fast.
yeah, no, I think I think
are they cooked? Are they cooked? Any shot? What are they gonna do in the playoffs?
I think any Eagles fans in the chat. I think they're a first round exit. From what I've been seeing lately, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to the Giants on this weekend. What do you think?
It would not shock. They almost lost to the Giants 2 weeks ago. Week and a half ago. Arizona cooked them. Like, you can't be playing this bad. When is the last time you seen a team play this bad? Right? play this bad and do something in the playoffs this late in the season?
Over the last 5 weeks, I mean, they're arguably the worst team in the NFC over the last 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Washington might have something to say about that. But when you really look at it, when you look at the product on the field, I've been saying this, Keith, I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying it on the show. I've been saying it all season. They ain't been looking right, like at all. You know what I mean? They got off. They had, even when they were 10-1, you still saw something was not the same with them. They were barely winning. They're squeaking by, going into overtime with Washington. You know, it was just, you just knew something was off. You can tell with these coordinators gone, they're not the same team, man. They try to put Matt Patricia down there, defensive coordinator, or as Skip calls him, pencil. Pencil.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, I didn't see, I mean, putting him down there is not going to make Bradbury play better. I'm sorry.
I think losing both of their coordinators did a lot. Clearly Steichen. I mean, Jalen Hurts, their whole offense just looks so vanilla. Now they can't stop the run. James Conner ran the ball down their throat. And we already knew they were weak on the back end. I mean, it's like ever since Debo called Bradbury trash, I mean, they pick on him every week, damn near. And so I think they're cooked. I think they're done. I think it's a wrap.
You can't go anywhere. You can't go deep into the playoffs with a defense like that, man. That defense is pathetic. They're like 31, 32 and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. Nah, don't call us the Eagles in that situation.
We haven't won yet either. We haven't won.
That's my whole point, Walt. What do you mean?
We talking about since 2000, Walt. Not when we were coming up.
Yeah, that's the whole point of what I was saying. It's y'all right. Y'all have been right there in contention, but what Sean Young said, if Taylor is the QB, that they're in trouble. Yeah, because he didn't start the last game. They started with Danny DeVito or Tommy, whatever his name is.
Yes.
And I think this went away faster than Linsanity, bro. It's over. But they should have beat the Rams.
I agree.
They should have beat the Rams, man. They were a miscommunication between Taylor and Saquon Barkley away from beating the Rams.
Well, the Cowboys have done what historically?
Yeah, we haven't been in this position in a while. What the Cowboys are old, you know what they would do? They would lose to Washington this weekend. That's what they would do.
Like
and drop right back down to the 5th seed. That's what the old Cowboys would do. And hopefully I'm not editing this clip and playing it at the beginning of our show next week and eating my words.
I agree with this, Walt. Losing Shane Steichen, that was tough.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's huge. Huge. Gannon too. Huge.
I think DeVito's run was shorter than Linsanity.
Yeah, it was. It was, man. So, I mean, I don't know.
There we go. We are.
I know what you're talking about. We're changing that this year. Okay. All right, let's go. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like San Francisco has the best chance. I think y'all are better than the team that went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. I think this is the best I've seen y'all. I mean, in a long time. Right. I mean, you think y'all were this good in the Kaepernick year when y'all went to the Super Bowl? Was it 2013, 2012, 2013?
They lost to the Ravens. I mean, I didn't think our offense is as dominant as this offense is. I know Kaepernick had some good moments throughout that playoff. I do think our defense was more physical with Pat Willis, Bowman, the Smith brothers. Even though our defense is really good, I think they're a little bit more finesse than those teams were. Those teams hit you in the mouth. Like Whitner and Golston, they couldn't cover anybody, but they were going to knock your ass out the game, you know? So I think this is our most well-balanced team since we last won a Super Bowl in 94, whereas we're averaging close to 30 points a game and we're still able to shut off teams' water on defense. So I'd have to say Because even 2019, it was run game and defense. We weren't able to pass like we're able to pass the ball now.
Right. Man, imagine that, man. Ravens, y'all can see the Ravens again, or y'all can see Flacco again. The Browns, man.
I'm looking for. I don't think the Ravens will. I ain't gonna say they don't want that smoke, but what I am saying is, I don't think they're looking forward to playing Cleveland if that comes around. How motivated do you think Flacco would be? Got benched for Lamar. Got pretty much put out of town for Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was tough.
He didn't just get benched for Lamar. He basically got benched for RG3 when you think about it.
True. Cowboys in the past will start the season well and then have a tremendous drop off in December before the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't really, other than the Bills game, I
agree,
didn't
TJ.
I didn't really see much of a drop off. I just think they just some tweaks that need to happen. They hadn't had a losing streak. That was the first time they lost 2 games back to back, and like what, since 2 years ago. So I mean,
right?
I'm not buying too much into that. Now they lose to Washington next week or this weekend. I mean, then yeah, I'm gonna, all right, same old Cowboys. But you know what's funny, man? Philly is playing so terrible right now. We could lose to Washington and still be a 2nd seed.
Because who do they got?
Giants.
They definitely could lose to the Giants. They don't have a team. I told somebody once you start losing to Arizona's, and they don't have a team where you can say we just that's an automatic win.
Right.
Anybody can beat them. Now they can beat anybody, but anybody can beat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arizona just showed us.
Right.
You know, you said you made a comment about Arizona. I mean, before we move on, you made a comment about Arizona on social media, man, that I agree with, man. Hey, Kyler Murray would have been playing all season. That would have been a different team, man. That might have been a different animal.
It might have been because John Gannon seems to be a good coach, and they run physical. They run the ball down your throat. I mean, we beat them, we outscored them, but they ran the ball well. I mean, you felt the wrath. You felt that running game with Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Connor, he's a physical runner. I think he hit both of y'all for 220, not himself, but I think as a rushing group, they hit y'all for 220.
Yeah.
And Philly.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, he was huge, man. James Conner, man, yeah, always been a fan of his, man, especially in fantasy if he can stay healthy.
Yep, I agree, man. Flacco's gonna be a problem. Cleveland is there. I would give see. So you know the betting favorites, right, for the Super Bowl. Have you seen them?
I haven't seen the over under or anything.
Betting odds. So let's look at that. Who do you think is a betting odds team to win the Super Bowl?
Betting odds right now?
Yes.
Probably Baltimore.
Let's see. No. Let's see.
I would think Baltimore. Depends, man. Vegas is tricky.
All right, so here it is. Let's put it up on the screen.
Like and subscribe.
There you go.
9:30 Eastern on Wednesdays, right here on YouTube, on Facebook.
All right, so we see it.
What we got here, man? San Francisco. What do you know?
San Francisco's still favorite. Then Baltimore. Then Dallas.
Yeah, look at
City.
Look at the number difference from Baltimore to Dallas.
Yeah, that 850.
Yeah, there's a huge drop off. There's a huge discrepancy there.
So Vegas is telling you the Super Bowl champion is going to be the 49ers or the Ravens. Right?
Yeah, they put us right above the Chiefs. Interesting.
Well, I'm going to tell you why that is. Why I think Jacksonville is way. I would not have Detroit above Cleveland, but I'm going to tell you why. They got Philly, Buffalo. They still got Buffalo way up here, and Buffalo's not even in the playoffs yet.
They're in the playoffs currently. They're
Well,
just
I'm saying they haven't clinched the playoff spot.
right. I mean, they should clinch one though. If they
I
I
would
mean,
not have Jacksonville above the Rams.
yeah, that's insane.
I I'm tempted to throw some money at that.
They don't even have a quarterback.
I'm talking about the Rams.
Oh, the Rams? Yeah.
That would be a good bet. $10 to make 500. So I'm going to tell you why the AFC, why the Ravens aren't betting favorite over the 49ers because their path is more difficult. That's what Vegas is telling you. What do you think?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I mean that is a factor, definitely. You know what I mean? You gotta see strength of schedule or your potential opponent. But yeah, the path. I can see that the path is important, and I think that would explain why Dallas is so high because they see it as being in that 2 spot changes things because Dallas gets 2 home games. So, it makes sense.
You got Cleveland, KC, them Bills. I kind of agree. I think Cleveland being slept on. That's not a bad number to bet them either.
I agree. Yeah, no, that might be
as an NFC team. Flacco would scare me coming out. You already won the Super Bowl. What pressure is on you? So,
let me see who else we got in there. Okay, see Green Bay made their way in there. Just got all the playoff teams up here.
Yeah, of course. Typically, not bad. They don't have no respect for Philly no more.
I mean, like I said, I'm surprised they're not even further down, even below Miami. But what's your take on Miami, man?
Fake news.
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold. Fake news. Not ready for prime time. Whatever words you can think for Fugazi. It's Fugazi.
Fugazi. I like that. Fugazi. That's what we're going with.
And they got Chubb hurt towards ACL when they were down 30 points.
Yeah, man.
It's tough.
Why are you still in the game, bro?
So Miami, I think, is still up and coming. They have a couple places they need to build, but they've also had a lot of injuries. But to me, we talked about it. They are the Dallas of the AFC.
By comparison to, I mean, when you match them up together, they're pretty much the same team. But I think the competition or the road to where they're trying to go is a little harder on their end than it is for Dallas.
I agree. I think they have a real chance, depending on who they match up with, of being one and done. We can do a couple more things before we get off here. But let's look at the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl, yeah, let's look at it.
Okay.
I think it's my margarita.
So, let's see. All right. Quarterback. The discrepancies. What you have. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, with the starter being Brock Purdy.
I mean, they're going off of the success of the team, I suppose, and the head-to-head. I mean, the votes.
Right.
So, I don't have an issue with that. I still think Dak is the better of the 3 right now. But I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I guess it's kind of like I still have that 4 interception game taste in my mouth a little bit.
Right.
But I mean, that could be recency bias. But I guess when you
say they stopped voting on the 25th, I'm not sure.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, that probably was already in the works beforehand. I mean, I don't know See, this is what these Pro Bowl debates and snubs and all of that. It really comes down to, yeah, you see somebody, you think of somebody who could be in there, and you're like, well, who are you going to take out? What quarterback are you going to take out to put somebody else in? Let's think about the NFC right now. Let's think about the top teams in the NFC. Are you going to put Jared Goff in there?
He may have had a better year than Stafford. I'm not sure. But I would not ever take him over Stafford.
Right, as a player. Yeah.
Right. I'm fine with those three.
I am too. I think it's a testament to the NFC who's been better all season.
Right. What about running backs?
Running backs.
Yeah, Sean said it. Dak is playing the best. No, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's funny, man. Seeing DeAndre Swift in there, man. I don't think Philly uses him enough. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'm happy they don't. It would
Right.
make them a better team.
Yeah, they don't use him enough. I'm surprised he's up there just for that reason.
I would have Kyron Williams over him if that's how the order it's in.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that.
I think McCaffrey's pretty unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
And since nobody plays fullback, Juszczyk gets grandfathered in every year.
Detroit kind of has like a committee approach. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What about wideout?
I mean, I know the 49ers fans might be feeling like Ayuk might have should have been in there.
You don't think so?
I'm looking at it, man. I mean, all four of those guys are having unbelievable seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, who are you going to take out and put Ayuk in there? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to take out Mike Evans? I don't know. He's having another historic season for himself. He's making history. He's going in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So Puka Nacua, probably one of the best rookie wide receivers we've ever seen.
Right.
So it's like CD, we were just talking.
He's not one of the best you've seen, but he's put up some of the best stats.
You know what it is? He's like a pleasant surprise. Nobody saw him coming.
He's almost like Cooper Kupp 2.0.
Yeah, right now he's better. You know what I mean? But Cooper Kupp is coming off a few injuries.
He said best recently. You think better than Jamar Chase? No way. He said and Justin Jefferson?
I said one of the best.
No, Sean saying best recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm not saying he is the best. You know what I mean? I'm saying he's one of the best we've seen as out of first year. I think he falls into that tier as far as rookie seasons when you're talking about Jamar Chase and I don't know about Justin Jefferson because that was another level. But
right.
I mean, yeah. I mean he has. You're looking at him and you see him. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He said Randy.
That's 25. NFC Pro Bowl wideouts are on point. Ayuk has to split targets and touches with Kittle, Debo, CMC. So it's all good. I'm not mad at it. But he led the league in yards per catch. He makes the most of his targets when he gets it. He just doesn't get a lot of them to. If he was the focal point of somebody's offense, I think he would get more touches and more. I mean, yeah, that's why we're such a dominant team this year. He's like, our third, fourth option on offense?
Right, yeah. And to TJ's point, you're going to see a lot of that, as far as the selections. You're going to see some people get, kind of mad. Remember I told you about that MVP when Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey were in the MVP conversation. I'm like, well, they kind of cancel each other out a little bit.
Right.
So, I think some players are going to be casualties of, of that type of thing. You know what I mean? You got some Devontae Smith fans out there, man, and but AJ Brown is having a better season than Devontae Smith, even though he's had better games than AJ Brown, a lot of games,
I
so
agree.
It just all boils down to what system you're in and how that pans out, what distribution is.
Right.
But yeah, CeeDee Lamb belongs at the top.
I agree. CeeDee Lamb ball. CeeDee Lamb, he gonna be first team all pro again.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Tight end, that NFC, that goes without saying, right?
Yeah, that's
Laporta is having a good year.
he is very impressive.
The starting guards, Trent Williams and Lane Johnson. You got issue with that?
The tackles, you mean?
Yeah, starting tackles. I'm sorry.
Nasul, yeah. I mean, Trent and Lane definitely belong up there. Nasul, I mean that offensive line for Detroit has been probably one of the best all season.
I agree.
So yeah, I can't argue with that either. I'm not surprised either.
Guard, they got Zach Martin.
Zach Martin, absolutely Hall of Famer.
Chris Lindstrom. I don't know who Chris.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Landon Dickerson for Philly.
Landon Dickerson, got it. Yeah. Well, Landon Dickerson, I don't know, maybe the tush push, I don't know, but
right.
I'll take their word for it. Yeah, definitely Jason Kelsey, and yeah, Frank Ragnow, yeah, absolutely.
What?
It's no surprise that there are a lot of Detroit Lions and Philadelphia Eagles on that list
for offensive line.
Yeah, there's no surprise.
Right. Who else you got? Let's go to the defense. They got Nick Bosa for defensive end.
Absolutely.
Montez Sweat for the Bears.
Yeah.
And Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson's been like going crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy against y'all.
Yeah, dude, he been going crazy, man. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
Interior, Aaron Donald, Dexter Lawrence, Javon Hargrave.
Wrong Lawrence.
I mean Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm being facetious.
I actually thought that was
like,
man. I didn't even read the
game. Yeah, right. You just glance at it, but especially the way he's been playing toward like the second half of the season, I'm sure he was, got some consideration, but
yeah. Mike for off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daniil Hunter, Hassan Reddick.
No question.
That's easy work.
No question.
Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner is having he comeback player of the year candidate too.
Cowboy cornerback. You surprised by that?
Ron Bland?
I know you're not surprised by that. I'm talking about the
other one. Which one?
Starting Travarius Ward.
Are you surprised by that?
Nah, he's been balling, especially last half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can see, I mean, he's been solid, So, I mean, these are, like I said, these are like, I mean, for the most part, it's like, who do you remove if you want to put your snubs in,
Well, we probably get to that more. You want to check out the AFC?
Yeah, let's go to the AFC.
Of course, San Francisco had the most Pro Bowlers with 9. Where we at?
Yeah, y'all had 9. We had 7 total this year. Where is the AFC?
That's what I'm looking for. Maybe I didn't go down far enough.
Oh yeah, we had the kickers. We got 2 kickers. We got a punter and a kicker in there.
Kicker Turner, Brandon Aubrey. Is that y'all kicker this year?
That's the kicker, yeah.
Okay. Oh, Buda Baker is a starting center, strong safety. He had a good comeback year.
Yeah. Yeah, you might have to go to another page for the AFC.
There it is. All right, what you got? Quarterback. Tua. I got Tua starting over 1.
Lost it.
They got two. Two is go scroll down.
Yeah, Tua starting over Lamar.
I can't see over the comment. There we go. I don't
This
agree.
definitely was done way before Sunday. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't agree with that. I'm not so sure. Are we sure Patrick Mahomes belongs up there?
Who would you take him off for?
That's why I'm asking. You know, I mean, because I know
I would replace Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, because we want to blame his receivers, but I mean, it's in large part due to the receiver. But I mean, he doesn't go without blame either. You know what I mean? He's threw some bad picks at times. But who will we replace him with, man? Josh Allen didn't really start playing well until mid-season.
I won't say that. Actually, doesn't Josh Allen lead the league in touchdowns?
Yeah, but he's also like top 3 or 4 in interceptions. He's almost got the Jameis Winston effect going on.
No, but he has way more. Jameis will have like 30 touchdowns and 33 picks.
Yeah,
Josh is up over 40 tutties.
We was calling what were they calling Jameis 30 for 30 a couple years ago. 30 for 30 for Jameis.
Running backs, what do you think about these?
Running backs, Raheem Mostert, yeah, he's having a monster season. James Cook, definitely. I don't know about Derrick Henry.
The star means starting.
Huh?
The star means a designated starter.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's had a big season, man.
I agree.
He's had a big season. He's really reinvented himself in some ways.
To your point, what is if the Miami Dolphins? I'm sorry, what am I trying to say here? If you don't like Derrick Henry, there, who are you replacing him with?
I was just thinking of that, man. I'm like, I just see that to me, is it just me or is lately Derrick Henry just only seems to be good in his own division? And even with that, I mean, he struggled against the Texans this year. He couldn't get nothing off on the Texans.
Right.
Yeah, he's not the Derrick Henry of old. If you play fantasy football, you know exactly what I mean.
Right.
I'm trying to think. It's like you got to run through the running backs of the whole conference. You know what I mean? Because the Ravens, their running backs got injured, and then they got,
Yep.
I guess it might have been like a process of elimination type of thing. You know what I mean?
They just had to pick a third one. No doubt. Alec Ingold, I guess he's because they run a Shanahan offense, they have a fullback. Right. I actually like the fullback for the Ravens, Ricard.
Oh, Ricard, yeah.
Big boy.
He's a big dude, yeah.
What do you think? Wideouts.
Wideout.
What about that second name?
Man, Amari Cooper, man. Look at that. Would you look at that?
With no quarterback, pretty much. I mean, he played with a carousel of quarterbacks, I guess.
You think that 200-yard game sent him over?
Maybe, but he's been balling either way.
Yeah, he's been very consistent this season. Even on the road, which is surprising because he usually disappears on the road. That's been the knock on him.
Gave it to Kelsey.
So a tight end?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Njoku's had a better season than Kelsey, man.
I agree with you.
Njoku should be starting.
I agree.
Yeah, Njoku has been one of their primary weapons, not named Amari Cooper. Actually, he is the primary weapon, not named Amari Cooper.
I'm glad we ain't got to see that, TJ.
Trolling. Well, here's the thing. When people bring that up, I always make the point of, I don't know if CD is CD if Amari's still there. You know what I mean? He became more of who he is now. Because Amari was featured. He was number one receiver.
Okay. I guess. I just don't believe in that, I guess. Don't you always want to like we just because we got now? Granted, I think all of our skill players complement each other a little bit, but Ayuk he was able to grow through even Debo dominating. You know what I'm saying?
Debo's not a wide receiver, man. Stop it. Stop. Are we fooling ourselves? Debo deserves to be a Pro Bowler, but because he's a wide receiver, it didn't happen.
It's a good point, TJ. If Andrews was healthy, Kelsey wouldn't make it this year. Not even a little bit.
That guy Likely is looking good, man. I like Likely, no pun intended.
Somebody's gonna like him and give him a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. So Likely is likely to get paid to go to another team next season.
Let's see who else. Laramie Tunsil, Deion Dawkins for tackle, and Teron Armstead. Then you got Quentin Nelson. Joe, do you know any of these dudes?
I don't know any of these damn people, Keith.
I don't either. So I'm gonna keep
I can't dispute it one way or another. Let me like, if you're not a fan of one of these AFC teams, are you really keeping up with with the names of their offensive linemen like that? I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah, let's go to the defense. I think they got defensive end right. Those are the two I would pick.
No doubt. Man. Myles Garrett kind of disappeared towards the end of the season.
He got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it happens too, man. Sometimes you get schemed out of games. That's what Michael Parsons started to happen to him, man. Teams plan for you and scheme you out, so you might not have that same production, But no, definitely him and Max Crosby definitely belong in those spots.
What about okay? Now we're going down to TJ Watt. No, interior lineman. Chris Jones, Quentin Williams, Justin Madubuike. I got no problem with either of those three.
Nah, I don't have that's solid right there.
That Madubuike worked our ass. No homo. Yep, TJ Watt, even though we beat the Steelers, he definitely made his presence felt against us, man.
TJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. TJ Watt, Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has had a great season. It was kind of a bounce back season for him.
Right.
He'll
probably be gone. He'll probably be gone this offseason too.
Yeah, I heard he's trying to come to Dallas.
Well, serious?
No. So look, he might throw it out there that he wants to go for bargaining and negotiating chips. You know what I mean? People will say that just to get other teams to bite. But yeah, Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, yeah, he belongs there.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith. Oh yeah, look, they got the lot. Man, you solid in both of your linebackers.
That's crazy.
Yo. I mean, but if we're being real, though, when you're thinking about AFC linebackers, those are the first two names you think of. Especially Roquan.
I agree. I mean, Queen is a dog too.
Absolutely.
DBs, Patrick Surtain, Sauce Gardner. All four of them could be starting. I don't keep.
Drop that list down, son. We behind the comments again. Okay. So, yep, Pat, Sauce, yeah, Jalen. Those are the who's who.
Those might be the top four DBs in football.
That's a solid group, man. Because you talk about people that there is one thing, you got the guys that get picks and all of that a lot. These are guys that people won't even throw to their side of the field.
That's right.
You know what I mean? This is like the Revis Island effect. So no, absolutely, man. They definitely belong there. Minka Fitzpatrick, of course. I haven't watched Justin Simmons a lot this season.
I was too. That's a pipe dream, TJ. We was never gonna get Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, we wanted to draft him. We missed out on him and got stuck with Michael Parsons. Poor us. Right. But yeah, if he would have slipped in the draft, it would have been. I wonder who Michael would have went to. That'd be for another show.
Straight problem, straight dog. I agree, TJ.
Yeah, the fact that the first two you think of are both play on the same team, that tells you all you need to know about the Ravens defense right there.
Who you telling? All right. Safeties, Mika Fitzpatrick, Justin Simmons. Kyle Hamilton is strong safety. I got no. He held too.
Yeah. Whew, a lot of Ravens. A lot of Ravens on this defensive list.
So you got any snubs?
Not that come to mind, man. I mean, it like we said, man. Like who you gonna replace? Who you gonna replace, or who you gonna drop? You know, that's what it comes down to. Who am I gonna take off to put this person on the list? Like I said, Patrick Mahomes is questionable this year. I don't know if he's been the third best quarterback in the AFC this season. And like I said, a lot of it is not his fault, but you know,
I agree.
It is what it is.
He actually did a pretty good job this year.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
I think people are going to have problems with Brock, maybe, to your point, if that 4 interception game is still fresh in your head. But, I mean, he balled throughout the year, set the 49ers passing record for yards. I mean, it was going to be him or Dak in the NFC. I knew that. So
he's a great captain and pilot to that machine that is the Shanahan offense.
So, man, we got anything else?
No, man, you know, once again, you know, shout outs to me for being a back-to-back champion in fantasy football. You know, it's not easy to do. My fantasy football players out there, y'all know it's hard to win, period, let alone 2 years in a row. Right. So feeling really good, man. Went home with the bag. The trophy stayed home, you know. So, you know, I'm gonna be feeling good, man. I might go on vacation or something with this bag right quick.
Hey, man, thanks y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like it. I put the YouTube thing in the top of the chat. Like and subscribe on that side. It's going to help with the algorithm. If y'all got something else, some other question, hey, we'll do our folk topic before we get up out of here.
Oh, also, man, y'all lock in during the playoffs. We're going to be doing immediate game reactions during the playoffs. So we're not just going to be on Wednesdays. We're going to be jumping in after some of these playoff games for like some quick spills. We'll be like 15, 20 minutes, depending on, you know, how long y'all want to talk.
No, go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, we'll be on here during the playoffs for sure. For shizzle my nizzle.
Come lock in with us, man. Get in the chat, man. We're going to chop it up like we in the barbershop. Let's go. The unbeaten.
Peace.